Good evening, hello everyone, hello. We are live for a little bit more Mist Rhyme. In the chat this evening, we've got Sage is Not So Sweet. Hello to you, Shroomfy. Good evening to you, Sleepy Otter. Good evening to you, Dodo. Good evening to you, and Zephyronicus. Good evening to you. Welcome to the chat. Now, in a slight finessing from last week. Okay, I've been reading the terms of service for both Twitch and YouTube, and it appears to me that you are, because of course, you can post the video up on YouTube with your Twitch chat in it. You, according to the letter of the rules, appear to be able to put the Twitch chat into the YouTube stream. Not the other way around though. You can't take the YouTube stream and include that as part of what you can't take the YouTube chat and include that as part of what you're streaming to Twitch. But we can take the Twitch chat and include that as part of what we're streaming to YouTube. So if you're watching on YouTube, welcome, and you'll be able to see the Twitch chat above. If you are chatting on Twitch, you won't be able to see what YouTube is saying, but I will fill you in on what they're saying. But this also means that if you're then watching on YouTube in the future, you'll be able to see both chats. You have a lot more context than what people are talking about. Okay, in a moment, we will... I'll just do a little introduction for the actual YouTube recording in a minute. But, yeah, it's great to have you all here. And we're trying this for a second week in a row. Both the children are asleep. So I think we're good for a couple of hours, which is excellent. We've got DN Angel 37 has joined, and Dodo confirms that is correct. My reading of the interpretation is correct from his point of view. Okay, great. Right, tonight we're going to be starting off with Rhyme, probably finishing Rhyme relatively quickly, because I have a suspicion that when we look at Riven and see Gen trapped in Riven, that's... unless it kicks off a whole bunch of more puzzles, that's probably going to be taking us towards conclusion. And then we're going to be picking up Uru, where we left off, right? The last episode of Uru was recorded way back in December, so we're going to give that a go. Okay, so if you're willing to indulge me, I'm just going to do a quick hello for the actual... for the people watching on YouTube in the recording in the future. Let's do it. It's only weird if we make it weird. Good evening, my friends, and welcome to episode 2 of Rhyme. Last time out, well, we probably completed most of Rhyme, and we've made our way into the second, more secret basement on Rhyme, where we have what could only really be described as a crystal viewer. We have managed to successfully look at Stone Ship, right? And if we pull the handle here, this should still be set up, and indeed it is, to show us Stone Ship. So that's excellent. Now, we're going to check out... I believe we've also got a code for Channelwood here. Right, we have a Channelwood code here, so we're going to have a quick look at Channelwood as well. So let me see, what's Channelwood going to be? 2 on the lowest setting. Wait, no. Is that? Huh. Oh, the minimum you can separate these by is 3, apparently. Right, so in that case, we actually need to move this one up, probably. Get these out the way. Right, so it's a 2 on the lowest setting. Then we've got a 6 here. This one is a 9. And then this one here is 12. Okay. And then make the screen a little bit bigger for you guys, because you can see what I'm looking at in my notes, and so it's mostly the same stuff. So 9 is going to be as closed as it goes. Wait, hang on. Okay, we'll go with that one. Oh yeah, this one doesn't have a handle, does it? So maybe that's going to be a thing. Yeah, okay, so 12 is supposed to be open anyway. 9 is supposed to be as closed as it goes. Trank0007 in the chat, hello to you. Number 6 needs to be as open as it will go. And then number 2 is midway, which it is. And then 2 is white. 6 is... Oh, I don't know. You tell me. What's that colour? It's like pink? Pink? No. Probably that one, isn't it? Yeah. And then we've got blue. And then we've got green, I would say. Here we go. This reminds me a lot of the time I spent in the optics lab. Oh, no, wait. No, we're not trying to look at stone ship right now. We need to move the book around. This is going to be channel wood. Huh. Ah, okay. 12962. Hang on. Right, so I might be misunderstanding something in here then. So 12962. We definitely had it before. That when it's like that, it's like the smallest one. So hang on, so 12 and 6 are supposed to be as open as they can be. 9 is as closed as it can be. And then 2 is sort of midway. Okay, this makes me slightly worried that I've actually, like, potentially misunderstood. 6 doesn't look like the right colour. Oh, okay. Oh, maybe it's supposed to be orange. Maybe. Hang on. Open, closed, open, middle. 12962. Green, blue, orange, white? Hang on. That looks like that looks more like magenta to me. I don't know. Well, it's going to be really awkward if I have made a misunderstanding on here, but we could have a go at trying to find Riven anyway. Now we've got some numbers here, we've got some clues here, and we've got some numbers here as well. DN Angel suggests that 12 might be teal. Oh, 12 might be teal rather than green, you think? Oh, possible. Oh, yeah, maybe. Hang on, so that's 12962. Open, closed, open, middle. Unless this is also orange. Teal and orange. And it's definitely channel wood. Oh my word. Okay, right. We're just like we just fully can't see colour today. Okay. Oh dear. Dodo would have said teal, blue, orange, white. Oh man, maybe I need to get the colours checked on my monitor. Maybe I need to do a bit of a colour test. Like, these colours, to me, they just don't look like the same colours at all. Like, I mean, I am looking at them on different monitors, but even if I move this one over to this monitor, I don't know, they look like different colours to me, but okay. But the important thing is, maybe it's my eyes. Oh no. Well, yeah, maybe. Colour blindness is incredibly common amongst men, of course. This puzzle is making you miss your days working with ZMax, optical system design software, back in undergrad days. Ugh. Yeah. So, as a former physicist, my life advice to aspiring physicists is, if someone ever gives you an opportunity to work in an optics lab, just say no, to be honest, because it is by far, it's the worst. It's the worst. Not only is it the worst from, like, you know, a psychological point of view, because in the winter you are literally going to work in the dark, you are leaving work in the dark, you are inside, you are inside, you're just in the dark all day. You will have this intricate experiment laid out, and you will adjust all your little things right. Because all your lenses have got all your spherical aberrations in them and so forth. You got to get all the alignment perfect, and then, like, someone drops something on your table and it's just ruined. Like, I knew a guy that literally spent about 9 months just aligning equipment. But to be fair, I can't really speak too much about that because I spent several years trying to align equipment, and that was ions rather than light, and that has the disadvantage that you can't see it. So yeah, I don't know. Meh. Sounds like working in IT without the physics. Okay. What do we have then? Like infinity in a bottle. This is going to be part of our Riven clues. Okay, we've got orange and blue, and we have a thing, and we have a 12. Okay. What are these representing? These must represent some other location, right? So shall we try this other location next then? So we've got 4, 7, 10, 14, right? Right, 4, 7, 10, 14 from those. So we've got aperture sizes, colours, and hopefully that one at the bottom is white. So let's come in here, and we're going to go up to 14. We're going to go to 10, 7, and 4. Okay, and then we've got white, orange, let's say, blue, and cyan. And then the bottom's going to be closed, 7's going to be open, which it is, 10's going to be closed, which it is, and 14's going to be open. So now we just need to work out which book it's going to be for. Could be missed. Not missed. Blank. No idea. Selentic. or mechanical? Okay, let's do this little dance again then. Is it actually magenta and I just can't see I just can't see it. Or the lower one might be a yellow. Hang on. Where was it? It was these slices over here. Oh, it's probably a yellow because it's sliced off that yellow rock, isn't it? So it's probably a yellow orange, yellow orange, blue cyan. No, there is no yellow. It is just orange. Okay, yellow, magenta, blue, cyan. Should we try that one? I always say I always say the name of this age wrong. It's Selenetic. Ah, look at this. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Do you know what? I bet this crystal viewer would be wild in VR, right? Because the image doesn't move as you move around, so it's like it's at infinity, isn't it? It's yeah. That'd be weird, that would. Selenetic. Okay. Is that a word that means something? Because all of the ages of Myst are all just like words, right? Channel, wood, mechanical. Sounds nauseating, actually. Okay. Shall we try and have a look at this puzzle then? So I don't see any clues to get us to look back at Myst, incidentally. But what we have is this list of rules, and we have these colours here. So, max distance between the height of the top and the bottom lenses cannot exceed 11 steps. Okay. Well, we also know it can't be smaller than 9 steps, right? So actually, wait. If this one's 4 and this one's 12, right? If this middle one's 12, the lowest this top one could possibly be would be 15, right? Which means, given that it has to be limited to no more than 11 steps, that's going to need to be 15. Okay, so tick, we've used that clue. Selenitic, of or relating to influence by the moon. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so this number, right, must be between 7 and 9. To allow for the needed refraction, no two sequential lenses can have a matching iris size. Fine. Well, we know that this one has to be open all the way, right? And if this one's closed all the way, that means this one is medium open. Great. Each lens color frequency must be unique. Fine. Well, we've got like 6 colors though, so to compensate for its extreme refraction, any lens set to use the highest frequency color must also use the smallest iris. Real world knowledge? Question mark. Like, we can go and check the frequencies upstairs, of course, but blue's going to be the highest frequency if it is using accurate science. If a lens sits between two small iris lenses, it must be equal in distance to both. Lens frequency must something in order as they get close to the book. Can increase or decrease, but they must do so in order. So they're monotonic. Even with the alteration of the base crystal shape into a flat lens, the laws of physics cannot be circumvented. We have got ourselves our first ban of the day. Bonk. Okay, interesting. Well, I think the best thing to do, given that it gives us a chance to listen to a little bit more of this amazing soundtrack whilst we take the ride, let's just head up back to the roof and just have a look. Just take a screenshot of it. Gotta be just a touch close, don't you? Oh. Just slightly uncomfortably close to the button. Incidentally, it's far too late for coffee here, so this is totally tea. Yeah, interesting, because that's not really the order that I would put those colours in ascending frequency, but good thing we went and checked it, right? Cool. No, we clicked the wrong button. We've discussed before, though, of course, how, you know, the attitudes towards using real-world knowledge as part of puzzle games. So it's obviously not reasonable to assume that people will know. Well, I mean, people know the order of the colours in the rainbow, right? But you wouldn't know if you were asked to put colours in an order. Most people will get the correct order because we're sort of taught the order. But you wouldn't know which one is high frequency and which one is low frequency. Right. So, consider. Over here we've got the high. And over here we've got the low. It was mentioned that light behaves differently in this age. That is true. That is true. That was explicitly made clear, wasn't it? Okay. So if we're going orange to blue, the only places we could go from there would be then to be cyan and then green. I'm just hoping those are even available as colours. I'm pretty sure they are. So cyan, yes, is fine, and yeah, green is available. So that's fine. So we've got the colours. No. To compensate for extreme refraction, any lens set to use the highest frequency color must use the smallest iris. So that'd be green. So you're going to go small. But can you have two which are the same next to each other? No two sequential lenses can have a matching iris size. That's not good. That's not good at all. Wait, unless, is that middle? Oh, that's medium. That's medium. Okay, so that's small. That's medium. So that can't be medium. This one must also be small then, because that's the only way you'd ever be able to make use of this rule. So if a lens sits between two small lenses, it must be equal in distance to both. So equal in distance between 12 and 4 is going to be 8. And I think that means we are going to be able to see Riven. Let's have a look. So 15, 12. We have got Serious Kin in the chat. Hello, hello. So we've got 8. Then we've got big, small, medium, and small. And then we've got orange, blue, cyan, and green. Okay, you guys ready? This is not the rhyme you were expecting. No, this is new rhyme. New rhyme. Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well. Okay, I have a feeling that this might be the end of the game. Maybe. Cool. Yeah, we've got Gen's little observation thing. Okay. Is something supposed to happen? So we've got Gen's observation platform up there. But yeah, okay. Well, the idea was that we're supposed to look to see if we can see Gen, right? Or at least that was the original purpose of the experiment. As far as you know, this is as far as the older rhyme went. Okay. I mean, I'm just trying to think, like, what do you do next? You're not sure what you were expecting, but it wasn't a view into the Riven remake. Well, okay. I will admit, I was kind of expecting, like, something to happen. Like, is that why they waited to do it after the Riven remake? Oh yeah, but how much of a, you know, if you drop this before the Riven remake as like a teaser for Riven. But no, I think they were just busy building the Riven remake, to be honest. Like, I think they were very much hoping, like, because I mean, Rime is free DLC, right? And it's really great, really nice to have the free DLC. But I think they were expecting Riven to be a lot bigger, a lot more successful than it ended up being. Okay. I'm at a little bit of a loss as to what we're expected to do next then. Because, okay, so there's like the whales, but we've kind of used up all of our clues. Like, okay, I mean, we can... Do we go back? Like, I mean, Atris in his letter said, I want you to see my sons as they were. I want you to see Cirrus and Achenar as they were, my sons. And, I guess we've kind of seen that. Like, we saw the whale over here earlier, and we can still see the whale here. The whale's still hanging out. Although, hang on a minute. Yeah, we have seen a linking book back to Mist. Yeah, we have the linking book back to Mist, so maybe we're just supposed to link back to Mist and be like, hey Atris, we've seen Rhyme, it was really great. Old Rhyme didn't end with credits. It really was just some exposition. The view of Riven was kind of the end of Rhyme in Real Mist, so you don't know if there's anything else here. So we've read all of these. Is there something now back on Mist? Further dialogue or whatever? Or is the whole thing enclosed inside Rhyme? Okay, so this is the letter that we read earlier. I mean, we could go back and see about talking to Atris again. Do we... No, we won't get trapped in here. Let's see if he's got anything else to say. I don't think we'd get trapped in here. Maybe we have just trapped ourselves. Hello. He's not even giving us the, oh, my friend, you're back treatment. He's just busy. Bonk, bonk. I don't know. Like, okay. Real chat. The end of Rhyme in the remake actually has like an end, right? Like, we haven't just seen the end. The end isn't just have a look at Riven and then you're done, right? There is something more to it. Genuine question. Oh, that's just the fireplace closing. No, that's it. Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. Okay. I thought there would be, like, I don't know, a little bit more of a... Thanks for playing. You saw Riven. It's a little anticlimactic, but that's how you remember. Well, fair enough. That is gonna be that. Alright. Welcome to James Moore's Missed the Start. Gotta watch 2x to catch up. Yeah, well, we've actually just finished Rime here. So... we're going to wrap up the recording there. If you're on stream with us, we're now going to move over to Uru. But if you're watching on YouTube in the future, thank you very much for watching this 2-part Rime, part 1, part 2. I had a lot of great fun. I really enjoyed coming back to Myst and visiting it. And I still kind of want to go back and play one of the original sort of versions of Myst, because I've never played Myst in the point and click version of it, and it has sort of been long enough now that I've kind of forgotten some of the solutions to these puzzles anyway. Although, do you ever really forget Myst? I don't know, but it's been really nice to revisit Myst. We are going to take a quick break here, and whilst I fire up Uru, and that is what we're going to be spending the rest of today's stream doing. So I will see you very soon. Don't go anywhere. Right. So, if I go back to here. So you should still be able to hear me perfectly fine. It's just whilst I fiddle around with various bits and pieces in the background. Yeah, whilst I fiddle around with various bits and pieces in the background, we can get the game up and running. So, I need to go here and here. Masterpiece is the best one to check out whenever I get to it. Okay. I'm thinking, well, maybe after Myst 5, but maybe we'll just leave it for a bit and... you know, we're going to play Uru, then we're going to play Myst 5. And then we'll just probably, I don't know, have a little cry about the fact that, like, we've played through the entirety of the Myst back catalogue and that's sort of it, and they'll probably never make another Myst game. You know, the usual thing that people do when they complete Myst 5, I suppose. Right, we don't have audio yet, so that needs to be here. Okay, so you should now have audio. Right, we've got our running on. And I think, maybe... Ah, no, wait, I need to change category, so we're going to go through... This is Uru. Weird. Twitch seems to have changed its categories, so it seems to only give you the option of Uru Ages Beyond Myst, but this is Uru Complete Chronicles. But never mind. Okay, we'll go with Uru Ages Beyond Myst, which is a little bit of a shame because it's only got 495 followers. To be honest, let's rename the title of the stream. So that's Uru Streams are back. So where we left Uru was part way through to Denis, and we just got the first set of coordinates. So it's Uru to Denis. Blind playthrough. And then we can get rid of the bit that says no hints, no spoilers, because to be honest, Uru is more like a joint venture. Let's put it that way. But I think that is it, and we're all set up now for Uru. So, there we go. Okay, right. Let's do a quick recording because I'm going to cut this into an Uru episode for YouTube. So, good evening, my friends, and welcome to the next episode of Uru Complete Chronicles. It's been 4 months since we last played this game, since I last had a go at streaming this live. Where we left off is we were on Uru to Denis, and we had managed to acquire one of the 3/4 coordinates by collecting, I think they were called GPZs, something like that. I'm going to have to get my handle on navigating back round in this place, but we need to go to, we definitely need to go to the big mechanical thing. There's the one. So we need to come in here. And if I pull up my GPZ, right, we've got one of these has been unlocked. Although weirdly enough, where we're not moving around very far, to be fair. Now that takes us back to that room. We need to get into the Great Zero. So, as a reminder, where we got up to was we got up to around here. We're doing the Great Zero calibration. So yeah, the most important calibration center are the 4 Great Zero maintenance units. So that's kind of what we're doing. We've got one of them, as well as the calibration imager. Once you've uploaded 20 GZ markers in upload machines in either the antechamber or the courtyard, you'll be allowed access to the machines and the ability to find a new type of marker known as a calibration Great Zero marker. We've got one of those. Your key only needs to finish the calibration process by synchronizing calibrations with the Great Zero itself. There are 4 machines. You need to receive a coordinate from one of the 3 machines. The 4th is not yet available. Right. And find the single marker at that coordinate. Similar to the early markers, it will only become visible when you have entered a certain radius, and you'll have to touch it. After you've found the first one, you'll need to return to the calibration center, insert your key into one of the machines. At that time, you'll be able to read one of the 3 coordinates on your key. So then we do that for the second, do that for the third. The 4th then becomes available, and after you've found the 4th marker, your key is calibrated. Okay, and then we're done. So, I need to remember how to get into the Great Zero calibration chamber. It might be directly from here. The Nexus is the correct way to get there. Is it Rosero? Library courtyard. Hang on, wait. Ferry terminal, no. The alley, the alcove. It's not Kirill or Bevan. I think it's Rosero, right? Re-Zero. Oh, because it's the Great Zero. Yeah, okay. I see. Okay. Get my caps lock back on so that I can auto run again. So yeah, it certainly has been a hot minute since we played this one. It was slightly... do you know what? I think it might have literally been the week of Christmas. Because it was just after work really started picking up in January. But it's nice. It's nice to pick it up again, and you know, people have been very, very patient in terms of sort of when we're going to play this game again. Right, now, we activated this one, I believe. Right, so this is ready to go, and that's the distance we need for it. Okay, so if I come back to my Uru notes, which are all the way over here. Right. Now, one of these, the one which was the incredible distance, we've done that one. Pretty sure. So this is the one that we're currently calibrated for, and the reason we decided to calibrate for this one is because minus 84 is the kind of deepest. Level, so we'll kind of get a good idea as to whether we're high enough away. And because that's the one we've unlocked. We've unlocked height already. So I think we just kind of need to start wandering around Denis and see where 84 kind of puts us in terms of height, right? So let's go and start having a wander around. Best accidental capital. Zephyronicus, worth the wait. Now this one. Oh no, that's just the Nexus in there. Fine. So let's take not a random balcony, not this guy's house. That's a bit weird. Yeah, let's take the alleyway. That's good. Do you know what I really appreciate in Uru? And I know people find the controls a little bit janky here and there. I know this is only a minus 82, so we're lower than this. So we might be down by the docks, to be honest, or we could be in the little cafe. But what I really appreciate in Uru is the way that you can play it one-handed, because you can turn using one hand, and you can also play it one-handed, like using your other hand as well, because you can click you can click the mouse to move. Like I strongly appreciate that, because you know, you want to take a drink or whatever. Right, so we're too deep now. We're already too deep, so it's definitely not down at the docks. And it also means that it's... So it's not down at the docks, and if we've ended up at 85, you know, if it's not here on the stairs, it's not down there at all. Could be in the basement of the library. Could be down and round here. I mean, we can still make a sort of reasonable guess based on the other numbers that we're looking for, right? Because this one's like a huge number for 1,000. Well, we found that on, it was either on Bevin or Kiril, which is on the other side of the cavern. What we're looking for here is 74, which actually puts it kind of close, but not too close to where we expect the Great Zero to be. Like these two, well, no, this one is closer. So it's kind of, medium distance. We're at minus 83 here. So one more set of stairs could put us on it. I have a suspicion it's going to be in the basement of the library. That's what my senses are saying. Oh, we're at minus 79, so this is actually slightly higher. Interesting. Okay, we'll remember that one's minus 79 because one of the other coordinates is after a minus 79 on the height, and that's a 110 distance. So, I think it's distance anyway. I'm pretty sure the line is distance and the circle is bearing. Do you know what though? I'm not sure the library is going to be deep enough. I hadn't realised that we'd been basically walking uphill this whole time. Well, it's definitely not... Okay, well, it's definitely not going to be by the docks. Like, let me remind you guys what the map looks like here. Right, we're currently around here or thereabouts, right? So we've actually been walking uphill as we've been walking up here, because this was around about minus 80. So it's not anywhere. Yeah. Wait, hang on. Yeah, so it could be like in there, maybe. Okay. But yeah, don't think the library's going to be deep enough. Although, having said that, that little stair has just taken us to minus 78. Oh, it might be close. But no. Because that's as far down as this goes. Our character is bound by the laws of the velvet rope. Okay. Let's walk back quick. Just to fast travel us back to that alley. Got to obey the health and safety. Well, I wasn't expecting our character to be a sucker for the DRC's OSHA nonsense, right? Like, you know. Hey, we have James Moores is back in the chat. You're here. Welcome, welcome. We are looking to get minus 84 in the height, and we're just looking for a place that we can do that sensibly. Not sure this place is up to code. This is Myst. None of this is up to code. Although, having said that, actually, what was it? Yeah, Firmament. Those realms, those are pretty well up to code. Most of them. Abduction, no. Like, Captar, no. Just absolutely not. Yeah, I don't think these are available as entry points, right? Okay, right. We need to have a think about where we're going to go then. So it's not on the main walkways. Like none of these are taking us to the correct depth. Like, weirdly enough, that's a little bit too low, and then it immediately becomes a little bit too high. The cafe is just a touch too low. And it can't be the docks, because the docks is definitely too low. The alternative... The alternative is we try and go somewhere that we know is fairly high, and we try and take this one. Because we've also not seen that many places which give you a 77 either. You know? You know, like, this is, you know, if it's on the main path at all, of course, because frankly, you're probably going to be hiding these off the beaten path anyway. Like, yeah, we're immediately actually too high for the other one. And I don't think that situation's going to get any better. Okay, no, we start going down. So yeah, right. We do end up at minus 77, just there. But unless it's like that little mezzanine level, it's not. We're not at the correct height. Okay. Let's think. I mean, what other locations are available to us on Danae? Let's go to the Nexus as a starting point. Dr. Spy spent a long while looking for these. Right. Alley, alcove, concert hall, foyer, library, courtyard. These are all in the main part of the map. Pretty sure. Bevan and Kirel, those are on like the opposite side. But we do have access to, various balconies and various buildings, right? So I don't know. Let's start at Palace Alcove and see where that takes us for now. Like, from our book on Relto. Oh no, that's that one. No, we literally were just there. Gage Blackwood in the chat. Hello to you. Hello to you. Good evening. We are trying to find some... I always want to call them ZPMs, but nah, we're come on, let's hit up the fairy tome. I think the fairy tome was too low. We're trying to calibrate the Great Zero. We have our height coordinate, and we're trying to find out we're trying to find either the distance or the bearing. Now, if I look at this height, minus 93. Nah, no chance, no chance. We're a million miles off. We're looking for minus 84. That's the number we're going for. So, I think the best thing to do is use our Relto Denis book to start exploring the various balconies and other rooms and so forth that we have access to. So, from here, we have got this room, that's at 0, so no point there. So, first balcony. Oh, interesting. Minus 78 is kind of surprisingly close to where one of them will be, but it's minus 77 or minus 79. So, and jumping is not changing our height there, so it's not like we're super borderline or anything. Back to Relto. Maybe, if a lot of these balconies are going to be around that 77, 78 mark, maybe we want to be changing which G, hang on, it's Great Zero marker, GZM. Maybe we want to change which GZM we are trying to locate. This is minus 78. This is minus 78. So this is exactly the same height as the other one. Yeah. I got my suspicious face on. Yeah, very easy to chat whilst running all over the place. Absolutely, absolutely. And it's part of the reason why I was very kind of firm on the idea that Uru wasn't coming back until the live streams were coming back. Because... Oh! We got something. Yes. Yes. Kadish is... Yeah, right, okay. We got minus 84. So let's go. And let's go to Rezero. But yeah, no, that it is exactly why I was so adamant that the Uru can't come back until the live streams come back. Because, to be honest... me playing this game without having a chat to interact with would suck. Like, that really would test my imposter syndrome to the limit. It really would. Like, I don't think of myself as a particularly entertaining person anyway. The chat is asking, Gage Blackwood, like from the Journeyman project? I don't know. Hang on, wait. Is Gage Blackwood like the author of the Journeyman project? I don't know. I've never played the Journeyman project, so I don't really know anything about it. But who knows, right? Yeah, ZPMs. Stargate ZPMs. Stargate is one of my all-time favourite shows. It really is. It's a really interesting one, though, right? Because compared to Star Wars and Star Trek, it has it has had a really, really limited cultural impact, you know. Gage Blackwood confirms that yes, they are indeed the lead character from Journeyman Project. And we also have a new follower on the Twitch, Blue Pinecone. Thank you for the follow. Wait, so what were we... Oh, we've got it. We've got it. Excellent. Right. So let's take the bearing one next. But yeah, so Stargate, I really love Stargate, but it's super odd in that, yeah, compared to other sci-fi, it had a very, very low cultural impact. But part of that is because it's probably set in the present day, and certainly on a rewatch, it has a lot of the standard trappings of that early 2000s American military supremacy kind of vibe to it. You know, that kind of post 9/11 America core sort of, the US military's the good guys, and the civilian oversight that wants checks and balances on how taxpayer money is being spent is like the bad guys. And that was something that was basically rectified in Stargate Atlantis, which I appreciated greatly. And also the fact that Stargate Atlantis, they make a big deal about this now being an international team full of people from various different countries. So maybe that held it back a little bit. Maybe that's me just like wildly projecting, because to be honest, like, it was still an incredibly popular show, and I only noticed it on a rewatch sort of many years later anyway. But so yeah, but it's good. It's good. I really liked it. The thing I really, really like about it is that it's a sci-fi that's willing to go very, very... it's a sci-fi that's willing to go very deep on the explanations of its own mechanics, right? How it's kind of very much established that you can only keep a wormhole open for 38 minutes, except in very specific circumstances. Or if you detonate something with enough force on one end of a Stargate, you can make the wormhole jump to the next nearest Stargate to it, thus sort of severing the connection. And they come up with these rules, but they're always very careful to keep those rules in their back pocket. And then when a situation presents itself where you can use that rule to solve a problem, they often do, and it's incredibly clever when they do. So yeah, it gets a huge thumbs up from me. Stargate for sure. How does Stargate Universe stack up? I have not seen it. I haven't seen it. No, I know. So after waxing lyrical about how much I love Stargate, so I've got all of Stargate and Stargate Atlantis on DVD. Stargate Universe came out like whilst I was at university, and I think I would need to double check the exact year that Stargate Universe came out, but right, so we're 56 on the distance here, so keep an eye on that one. Minus 77 is what we're looking for. Right, and we're counting down by going this way. So... ooh, hang on a second. Let's find the direction where that increases fastest, yeah? So that's the alley we just came from. I have a feeling that this line is the line of the Great Zero, you know, from what we read earlier. Do you think? Which would kind of mean the Great Zero is maybe at the top of Kirith's Arch, which is sort of what I said, like, quite a while back. I think I hypothesized that earlier. We got Darkfey in the chat. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Good to see. Yeah, but so Stargate Universe, I never got into it because it kind of came out when it was kind of like an inconvenient time to watch it anyway. But also, right, we're looking for 57. 57 minus 77. So there is a chance it's going to be. No, it's sort of here. Right. Yeah, so it kind of came out at a kind of inconvenient time, but also, like, well, it got cancelled after 2 seasons, didn't it? And I tend to find that now, especially nowadays, life's a bit too short to watch medium TV that never got a satisfactory ending, to be honest. So it's kind of why I stay away from Netflix shows unless they're actually, like, done, right? Because Netflix have a horrible habit of, like, doing a couple of seasons and then just, you know. We have a first-time chatter. Ooh, that's an interesting name. It's Disa Sharide? That is probably not how you're pronouncing your name there. But I'm finally able to watch one of these streams live. I watched and binged all of your other missed videos starting in January over the course of a couple of months. Amazing. I only started playing the Mist series starting in December myself, which is how I found your channel to see how others play the game blind. Welcome. Welcome. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I mean, I started with Myst in 2023, and so I kind of came to it without any of the sort of nostalgia associated with it. Okay, so the line might be there. And do you know what? Like, it totally holds up. It all totally holds up, and it's very fast become one of my absolute favorite, just one of my absolute favorite. Okay, I have no idea what that sound was. One of my absolute favorite game series. It really, really has. So, yeah. If we're halfway down these steps, and that's the correct distance, if you were to draw a large arc, you could get sort of around to the library or around to here. So let's check that out. SGU was also quite different to the other ones, which I think also kind of worked against it. Yeah, I mean, the other thing, like, SGU, it had Robert Carlyle, who I think is an amazing actor, but the character he played was, I don't know, not my fave. And actually, the main character, like, sorry, I said I didn't watch it. I watched a couple of episodes of it, right? It's not like I'm totally unaware of it as a show, let's say. But yeah, like the main character, the young lad, yeah, I didn't really gel with his character terribly well, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe I should go back and watch it, because on the other hand, it is only 2 seasons, right? And so it's not really that big of a commitment. It's not like someone's turning around to you and going, oh my god, House MD is like one of the greatest shows ever, you should really watch House. Because, like, that's a real commitment. So, yeah. Stargate Universe has actually ended in a fine way with possibilities to go on. Fans just hoped that it would go on at some point. Yeah, that sounds familiar. doesn't it? For sure, for sure. That's the old Firefly mentality. Firefly. People got really, really obsessed about the fact that Firefly kind of ended on a cliffhanger. Now this is interesting. We're counting down right now, but I would say we're actually very much heading away from the arch. So, there we go. Firefly. Let me just have a quick reminder of what number we're hoping for. We're hoping for 57. People got really aggravated about like Shepard and like, oh, you know, what's Shepard's backstory? Oh, I can't believe they would like end it without resolving Shepard's backstory. But like, let's be honest, you can fill in the gaps, guys, right? Like, it's kind of obvious what Shepard's backstory was. Like, like that really was one of the plot threads that I really did not feel needed spelling out. But yeah, I mean, like, obviously, yeah, Firefly ended in kind of an unsatisfactory way. Yeah, 2 in the bag, looking for a third. This is interesting. Okay, right, we're now down into the 40s up here, so I think we might have to like draw some triangles. You know, I think we might have to draw some triangles, and then that will tell us like which building we're potentially looking for. So yeah, you've kind of become obsessed with mist lore now, the deep iceberg levels of lore. Yeah, no, 100%. I love the mechanics of it, for sure. For sure. Okay, let's catch up with the chat. I wonder if you found the deep lore, like the Riven list. I don't know. Sometimes easy to ask anyway. They could have done the funniest thing and renewed Stargate Universe after 3 years. House is a pretty good show. House is a good show. Like, I've spoken before about how I kind of have a vague preference for episodic content. I like the fact that, incidentally, the reason I'm thinking about House, the reason House is at the top of my mind, is my wife has just started watching House. Right? Okay. So that's why. But you know, House is a good show, and I like the fact that it's episodic. I like the fact that I can like dip in and out for an episode and be entertained by it without worrying about like what the overarching drama happens to be, you know. I appreciate that. Okay, so probably still lots to know. There's an image of an iceberg with mist lore online. Surprisingly knew much of what was being mentioned already. Oh, yeah. The iceberg meme. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there's... So where are you up to now in the series? Are you up to... like which mist are you up to? Or have you smashed through all of them by now already? Yes, House is indeed. It's a Sherlock Holmes adaptation. You're absolutely correct. Although I maintain that. Right, so this is 49. One of my general Hollywood bugbears is that Hollywood... One of my general Hollywood bugbears is that Hollywood, in general, is very bad at writing very smart characters. The only characters that Hollywood... The only smart characters that Hollywood knows how to write are insufferable people with very little positivity. And generally, they're just horrible people to be around and horrible people to other people. And that's fine to an extent because, look, you need some kind of drama. You have to have sort of interpersonal conflict to have a story. I kind of appreciate that. But it's the only kind of smart character that Hollywood appears to be able to know how to write. Yeah? You've got, you've got Robert Downey Jr. and you've got Benedict Cumberbatch playing Alan Turing in The Imitation Game, which kind of really bothers me, right? Because Alan Turing was like a real life person who, by all accounts, was like really nice to people and like really funny. And, I've spent enough time in universities around really, really smart people, and there are all kinds of really, really smart people. There are very funny, really smart people and very witty, really smart people. And, there are really cool people who like skateboard and DJ and whatever, and they also happen to just be super good at linear algebra, and it kind of makes you feel a little bit sad because they're really smart but also really cool and good looking. And maybe that doesn't make for good TV because it would just kind of make the audience jealous, or worse, people would assume, well, they're just like a Mary Sue character or whatever, right? Because they're just intrinsically good at everything. But like, yeah, I mean, people like that do exist. But yeah, but the way that Hollywood writes it, it's all very one note, and that's my only kind of real problem with House, is that House is one of those, he's one of those characters, and you kind of feel like you've seen that character before. That's interesting, isn't it? Didn't we just talk about Stargate? I think the intelligent people... Yes! Dodo, you're absolutely right. Sam, right, so... okay. This is gonna be real kind of... Let's look behind the curtain hours, right? Samantha Carter and Rodney McKay were genuinely, and I am not joking, they were actually my real inspiration for wanting to go and study physics at university. Genuinely. I thought it was so cool that these characters were always in some kind of like emergency situation and they had to use like their intelligence to get out of whatever trouble they've got in. And totally agree. Totally agree. So yeah, I mean, Rodney McKay is obviously a little bit like House, yeah. Although he gets much, much better in Atlantis than he is in Stargate SG-1. But I mean, in Stargate SG-1, he's playing like the foil to Samantha Carter, right? But Samantha Carter, if you wrote Samantha Carter today, people would complain that she was a Mary Sue character and totally unrealistic. But there we go. It's kind of like the old when did Star Trek become so woke? It's like, yeah, the 60s. So you've played Myst 1 to 5, the remakes Where They Exist, and Uru, and you played Pissed, the parody game. Nice. And you're currently partway through the Book of Atris. Wow. And you've played Abduction and Firmament. That is commitment. Commitment to the art. That is. Wow. Yeah. It really sucks you in, doesn't it? These games, for sure. Rodney seemed to be in a constant state of panic whilst also fixing the problem. Yeah, that's true. Mind you, I have also met people who, because of anxiety or whatever, also always seem to be in a bit of a constant state of panic, even if there is no, kind of emergency. Um, McKay was held back by his ego, not in a bad way, but in a character development way. No, you're right, and he gets better in Atlantis. And do you know what as well? Atlantis gets better as they give more of a part to Zelenko. As they give more of a part to Zelenko, Atlantis gets better too. Incidentally, hashtag justice for Kavanaugh, right? I'm going to put it out there. It's probably going to be like my most controversial opinion, right? But, okay, Kavanaugh was probably the worst person to work with, right? I wouldn't want him on my team, for sure, okay. But, all he's doing most of the time is pointing out that what they're doing is exceptionally dangerous, and he's not recommending this as a course of action. And he basically gets sacked for it. Well, he doesn't just get sacked for it either, because obviously he actually gets like arrested and kind of, well, yeah, no, it doesn't work out well for him, and that's a bit sad. Right, we're at 44 here. What? Right. It kind of feels like the Great Zero might be somewhere like here, maybe? If that's 44 and that's 49, but then we're jumping all the way to 66 by here. So, yeah. You will say this DLC has been really good for top bands. Well, that's what I'm here for. The new puzzle game Blueprints is the latest obsession for me. Blueprints. Okay. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So, I have a strong suspicion that... Ah, no, we can't get that way. Right, I have a feeling it's got to be over there. So, yeah, we're going to do Blueprints. We're going to do Blueprints. Not on stream, I don't think. So I want to do Uru on stream, and I don't want to wait for Uru to be done before we do Blueprints. So I think Blueprints we're going to do after Ellenby House, maybe, on the Tuesday slot. And Ellenby House, I don't think is going to be that much longer. I just recorded, like, the other episode, I think next week's episode, or the... No, next week's episode's already scheduled. I recorded the episode for the week after, today. And it definitely feels like the game is, like, pretty close to an end there. Like, maybe one more episode, I'm not sure. Okay. If we're looking for 57... right, we're looking around about here. We're looking around about here. So I think let's... Is it going to be up? Is it going to be up on that building? Like, maybe? It's about right, isn't it? It's about right. Okay. But yeah, Blueprints. I've been trying to steer away from Blueprints spoilers as much as possible. So I've not really been reading what you guys have been chatting about on the Discord with regard to Blueprints. But what I know about it so far is that everyone keeps comparing it to Outer Wilds, and I know it's something about it's either a time loop or it's an alternate dimensions thing that you're doing the same activities again and again. Because I have seen people refer to it as a roguelike as well. So I guess you're in... I guess it's a time loop game, I'm presuming. And I know it has something to do with arranging rooms in a house, and that's where the pun comes in because it's blueprints. And I've seen in the trailer that there's like a dice rolling mechanic or something maybe. So, but aside from that, I've been trying to stay away from spoilers as best I can because I think that one might be one that's really good to go into like genuinely totally blind or as blind as you can maybe. Yeah, all right, now where is the Great Zero? Based on the numbers, where is 000? Oh shoot, guys, don't ask me this. Right, this is minus 77. Well, I think based on the numbers, it's going to be like it's going to be like somewhere up here. I reckon. And yeah, maybe at the top of the cavern as well, given that all of the heights are minuses. But we're looking for 57 minus 77, which has got to be like it's got to be in here, right? Maybe. Interesting. So we're at the right height, right distance, but we must be in the wrong place. Yeah, we must be on the wrong bearing, which is a bit of a shame. Okay. Well, where we are is the building I was just pointing to. Yeah? So where we are currently is like... it's kind of hard to tell from here. I think we're on this building here. So it's not that, basically. It's not that. Okay, well let's check some of the other balconies if it's not this one. Is that someone's office? Is it going to be in someone's office? Like if it's at this height, it's going to be like a room somewhere, right? Oops, back to Ralto. Where is Kirith's Arch? Well, that's the big obelisk, isn't it? Just slightly south. Like Kirith's Arch is along this line here. It's kind of down here. That's assuming that is Kirith's Arch. It might not be. Right. So it's turned out not to be that one. Let's just let's go from the start and we'll go through the balconies and see where we end up. You've been rewatching the Monkey Island series recently. Right, this is 52, so this is no good. This is too far away. Okay. Do you know what? I've never beaten Monkey Island. I've played it up to when you're on the pirate ship, like when you're on the ship, and the pirates that you've got in your crew, they're like sunbathing on the deck, and you're trying to get them to do stuff, and yeah, that's only how far I've got. Then I've never played the second one. The third one. Ah! Really? 56 minus 78. Well, there we go. Got it. No problem. Right. Back to ReZero. You can do prints on stream after you got to the credits. Kind of makes sense then. Yeah, so I've played that far of the first one. Never played the second one. Played a little bit of the third one. I quite like the third one. And then the fourth one's probably the one I played most because it happened to be the first one that I actually played. Because I just happened to have it on my old iMac back in the day. Yeah. Yes, blueprints. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Everyone in the Discord has always been like incredibly well behaved in terms of spoilers, tagging spoilers and things. And we also just have a forum for discussing games, which usually we use for discussing the games that we're playing on the channel. But obviously, if you guys want to play, like, if you guys want to talk about other games, that's also fine. You're late to the game. How many play sessions have we had with Uru? Oh, whoa, quite a few. So, Uru base game was several episodes, and then this might be like episode 6 of 2 Denis specifically. And then, of course, we've got Path of the Shell after this. So, yeah. I totally missed James's joke earlier when he said, Hollywood only knows how to write smart characters by having a half-played game of chess in the background. It's like, big oof, because, to be honest, Myst does that quite a lot as well. Well, no, not even just Myst, actually, because there's a half-played game of chess in the background in Firmament as well. But, like, whoever keeps putting these chessboards in the Cyan World games really needs to actually just look up a game of chess that ever got played ever, because they always set the board up wrong. And it's like really obvious if you know how to play chess, because like in Firmament, the chessboard is set up literally like 90 degrees round. So the black square, so that A1 is a white square rather than a black square, and it's like that's not how it's supposed to be. Right, so we've got 3. So now 4 becomes available. The chess openings book in Ellingby. Well, to be honest, I think that is... I have a feeling that that's actually legitimate game board positions. I think. Okay. So what numbers are we actually looking up here? So it's this one that's now available to us. And we have... Oh man, it's weird to have like 31,000 on there. Okay. So we want 57,110 in distance. That's actually like middlingly far. That's maybe around about the library. Yeah, because this was 98. So 110 is going to be in the library. Maybe. Let's Relto over there. The last one should be easy. I mean, we got GPS right now. Yeah, well, hopefully. Okay. Easiest way to get to the library. This way. No. No. Let's go via the Nexus. And I think we go Palace Alcove? No, Library Courtyard. Library Courtyard. What am I doing? So, in other news, in terms of games that are going to be coming to a close soon, yesterday I recorded the final episode of Another Crab's Treasure, which, if you are one of the 10 or so people watching that game, oh my god, the ending is just like not what I was expecting at all. Like, genuinely, the ending is like so bleak. And I don't know if any of you guys have actually played it to the end, but it's like, I'm genuinely like really tempted. I've never been more tempted to sit down and try and actually put together a video essay on what I thought about the themes of a game more, really, because it has a very, it does have a very surface level, oh yeah, pollution is bad kind of theme running through it, right? We're trying to get to -79, so this is too low. I think it might be out the back of the library rather than in the library, maybe. So yeah, so it's got like a very sort of surface level, yeah, pollution is bad kind of theme to it, but it reminds me a lot of the movie Okja, right? Which is a very kind of, it's by the same, it's Boon Jong-ho, I think, is the name of the director, writer. And it's very kind of, you are part of a system, and even if you don't want to take part in it, you are forced to take part in it, because Krill doesn't really want to take part in any of this adventure, really. He just wants his shell and he wants to go home. And the decision he makes at the end of the game is so surprising to me, because it's one of those things where earlier on in the game you'd be like, oh, well, why doesn't he just do this? And then that's genuinely like how the game ends later on, and you're like, damn, that actually kind of hits a bit different when like it actually happens like that. I didn't look or listen to the game at all just now. Oh shoot, did it bing at me and I just missed it? I was listening. Oh. Okay, it's somewhere here. I gotta remember that Uru doesn't have guardrails. I almost fell off there. Zephyronicus is one of the people watching. Do you know what? My nephew, who is only like 7, he's one of the people watching, and genuinely I'm not sure actually the final message of this game is really suitable for a youngster. Okay, somewhere around here. You had a tough time getting into Another Crab's Treasure. Yeah, the difficulty curve is definitely a bit weird with it. And I think the humour, the humour either lands or it doesn't for you, to be honest, It's like, it might be a bit of a Marmite game in that respect. I am gonna go up here and go around the back to see if it's up there. We have a first time chatter. We have Gage Blackwood 5. You are going to have to watch the end then. Thank you. It's good. It reminded me a lot of the end of Dark Souls. You're bad at those kind of games, but James is also watching it on the playthrough. Amazing. It's definitely not like it's definitely not my game that has the highest traction, but I really like it, and I like having a Metroidvania or a Souls-like game to play as like a chill out game, as like a break from the puzzle games and so on, right? The other one we're playing at the moment is Master Quest, which is, you know, obviously just absolutely classic Ocarina of Time. I'm really sketchy on. So it's 57325. So it's slightly. So it's like here, but it's 110 in distance. And it's 79 in height. So it's got to be like just off this edge. So, oh no, there it is. Ah, oh, okay. Well, that's that. That's where we need to go then, isn't it? Okay. So, no, not that one. It's Library Courtyard. Library Courtyard. Yeah, who needs guardrails, right, James? Okay, right. Background here then. Yeah, so after Another Crab's Treasure, now that one is going to be finishing reasonably soon, I think the next game on the Souls-like / Metroidvania, this one's going to be more of a Metroidvania than a Souls-like. It's going to be Ender Magnolia. Because I really, really enjoyed Ender Lilies. And Ender Magnolia. Oh, there it is. Okay, we can't quite. Okay. I think we do have to snipe it out of the air, don't we? Okay. I really, really enjoyed Ender Lilies, and by all accounts, Ender Magnolia is just as good, if not better, in certain aspects. And it got an official release. I mean, I'm not very big on buying games when they're in early access, so I know Ender Magnolia has kind of been kicking around for a while. But I'm not a big fan of buying early access games because, like, I don't like the idea of playing through a game and then it, like, significantly changing for its release to kind of, like, it sort of works on, I don't want to call them live service games, but the classic example of two games where early access, like, obviously works is, like, roguelikes, effectively. So things like Slay the Spire or Hades 2, like Slay the Spire 2 or Hades 2, make perfect sense for early access because you want feedback from the community on how to balance the game. But the idea of playing like a Metroidvania in early access feels really weird to me. Because, like, you know, the secrets are the secrets, right? Maybe I just need to step off. Maybe I just need to run off, not jump off. So give that a go next time. Yeah, jumping puzzles. Blah, 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 blah. You're not playing enough Uru if I miss that jump. The jumping is so bad. The jumping is so bad. Don't worry, the jumping puzzles in Path of the Shell are much easier. The jumping is bad, that's why you have to play it more. Yeah. I tell you what, right? If you want, so the the platforming in Ender Lilies I felt was one of the weakest parts of the game, which is not great for a Metroidvania to have kind of weak platforming. It's got really, really good combat, kind of weak platforming. But like I came to it from I think I'd played Hollow Knight as the game before, and it's like, yeah, that's not really fair. That's like playing a platformer after you've played Celeste and going, yeah, these jumping controls feel a little bit stiff. Okay, right, we're just going to walk off. Got it. Right, we got it this time. Okay, well, my friends, with that 4th GPS coordinate, we are going to be wrapping up. Yeah, only took me 4 attempts. With that, though, we are going to wrap up this episode of Uru. It's been an absolute pleasure streaming for you guys once again. Thank you all very much for coming along, and if you are watching on YouTube in the future, thank you very much for watching this video. Next time out, we are going to be finishing ? 2 Denis, and maybe starting Path of the Shell. So that'll be an exciting one. If you are enjoying this series of Uru, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I will see you next week. Bye for now, YouTube. Okay, so that is for the people in the future who are going to be watching the recording. In the meantime, for those of us live, thank you very much for coming along and watching me wander around the deserted Denis city whilst we talk about various sci-fi and other things. It's been an absolute pleasure streaming for all of you. Thank you all very much for coming. I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube now, and then we will raid on Twitch, okay? So thank you very much, everyone on YouTube, for coming along. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I hope to see you in the comment section and on the Discord. So have a good night. Bye for now.